Blog Talk Radio.
NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, college football, college basketball, boxing, you name it, we got it. It's the place where sports opinions collide. Dead End Sports with Beast, Info, 10, and host 12 Kyle. Dead End Sports starts right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2,
Thank you for tuning in once again. You are locked in for the next 2 hours of your sports week. This is the place where sports opinions collide. This is Dead End Sports, broadcasting live over the airwaves of Blog Talk Radio. I am your host, 12 Kyle. The phone number to call in, area code 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. This is an interactive show. We ask that you not just listen to the show, be a part of the show, participate in tonight's discussion. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You can log into our chat room. Our chat room is always open and it's always interactive. Create a profile for yourself and join the discussion. You can also log in as a guest and watch the chat room participants go back and forth. If you're on Twitter, hit us up. You can follow us on Twitter at Dead End Sports. You can also follow us individually. You can follow FIFO at FIFO247. You can also follow B at BZ430. And you can follow Ken at KBINGE. And you can follow me, yours truly, 12 Kyle, the number 12KYLE. You can follow us on Twitter. Matter of fact, all social media outlets. If you miss any parts of tonight's show, you can also check out our show archives. Our show archives are also featured on our website, deadendsports.com. We're also featured right here on Blog Talk Radio. Go to blogtalkradio.com/deadendsports. You can also check us out on Stitcher if you have an Android or iPhone. Download the Stitcher application from the application store on your phone for free. Upload it and listen at your leisure, at home or on the go. If you're on iTunes, check us out. We're there as well. And we're also featured on SoundCloud as well. So a lot of different ways you can catch the show if you can't catch us live. But we're right here every week bringing it to you live and in color. It gets no better. The place where sports opinions collide once again every Tuesday night right here on Blog Talk Radio from 9 to 11 p.m. Pass the word. We're here. Again, the phone number to call in, 646-478-0356. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on tonight's show. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. As always, if there's anything that you want to talk about, hit us up, 646-478-0356. Of course, I am your host, 12 Kyle. I want to thank everybody for tuning in as you do each and every Tuesday night. I actually missed most of last week's show, man. Got a shout out to everybody who called in and checked out the show and had raving reviews for the captain who filled in so admirably last week. So we got a shout out to Captain Ken. Without further ado, man, let's bring the fellas on the line. You know them, you love them. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's bring in, first and foremost, man, let's bring in the beat maker of the crew. He hails from the D, my man Beezy. Beezy, what up, though?
What up, though, Kyle? What's good?
What's going on, man?
I'm playing this new Mortal Kombat game.
Oh, man, he's a gamer.
Playing this new, yeah, you might as well call me beatmaker/gamer, cause yeah, man. that new Mortal Kombat came out, man. I had to get my hands.
I heard it's crucial, man.
Man, I haven't been this excited for all the gamers out there that's listening. I haven't been this excited for a Mortal Kombat game since Mortal Kombat 3, and you know,
okay.
It's been a good minute. Mortal Kombat 3 was the last Mortal Kombat that I was excited to play and that I really enjoyed. All the other Mortal Kombats, I didn't really care too much for them. So this one is really like back to that. It kind of brings me back to that nostalgia kind of feel almost when I first started playing Mortal Kombat. Back in the Sega Genesis days, you know what I mean?
Sega Genesis, exactly.
So, you know, the arcade.
Hey, he's a gamer, so if you want
to the arcade,
run at him, I'll let him.
I used to go to the arcade just to play Mortal Kombat, man, because that was like the first game to like really the reason why they got like ratings on games. That was the first that game set it off. So, you know, that's why we got mature and teen and all that stuff. Because Mortal Kombat was the first game to have that. So crazy.
No doubt. Hey, he's a gamer, folks. So if you want to see him, hey, hit him up. I'm sure he'll play against you.
PlayStation 4.
Exactly, PS4. Next up to bat, the point guard of the crew, my man FIFO. FIFO, what's good?
Yo, what's good, Kyle?
Chilling, man. What's up with you?
Man, B don't want nothing in this Mortal Kombat, B. Come see me, man. Come see me, B.
You play Mortal Kombat, bro?
Hell yeah, man. Look, hey, B, fighting games, card games, and basketball games, man, sports games.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm with it.
Okay.
B knows. Hey, look. B knows. When it comes to fight night, I've never played against anybody better, and I knock everybody the fuck out in that game. I can't lie. There's only 2 people on my level in that game, and B is one of them.
Okay. And so a lot of gamer talk here. Hey, so that's another cat, man. If you guys listening, you want to see him on them games, man, hit him up. Last but not least, man, let's bring on the captain, man. My man Ken. Ken, what's going on?
Oh
Ken.
God, Ken. Jesus. Oh, he be doing that on purpose, man. He be doing that on purpose sometimes.
Wait a minute, hold on. This is not me. Hey.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah, we got you. What's up, man?
Oh, okay.
What's good, brother?
So you know, B, I hear FIFO and you talking about gaming and stuff like that, man. You know what? I'm not doing any of that, man. You know, look. I'll let y'all handle that, man. To me, I'm looking for this lady. She's special to me.
Oh God. I already know what that was right there. So when you started hitting that note.
Oh, you know that's that Action Bronson, boy.
I
was gonna say, man, I thought you were.
No, I knew it was. So when he said the first 2 words, I already know what he was saying. I'm like, oh God.
You sounded like a fake Robbie Brown.
Oh my God.
Hey, we reviewed that project Sunday, and that skit is on the album, which I was the only one that out of everybody that liked it. I thought it was funny. So, and it's just stuck in my head. Every time I hear him sing, I just start laughing. And I think we should remake it. B, I want you to be talking, and then I'm going to be busting the vocals, man. I think we should remake it, man.
Yeah, you do. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. But,
a lot of sports to talk about, man. We're not going to be the Lone Rangers. Hit us up, 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. Once again, welcome into the place where sports opinions collide, Dead End Sports. Man, let's start right there, man. Big news over the weekend. Actually, in golf, man, Jordan Spieth, this kid comes out, well, I don't want to say he came out of nowhere because he pretty much dominated the Masters from start to finish. He actually led all the way through. I think he finished 18 under, set a record. He was actually the second youngest, just a few months shy, a few months older than Tiger Woods to ever win the Masters, man. So it got me to thinking about, and I know a lot of times in sports, you know, it's cliche to, kind of live in the moment, man, but it is, and I'll start first with you, B, because you and I, we play golf. Do you think this Jordan Spieth kid, is he the next Tiger?
That's too high to say if he's the next Tiger now. Because remember Roy McIlroy, they were saying he was
right.
And now look, he it's been a little minute since he won him a major, so it's like, hey, look, until let's see what he's gonna do this year, and maybe go on into next year before we can pin him the next Tiger. If he win, let's say if he win another major this year and win, one more major next year, that'd be 3 majors within a year span. That's quite impressive. So we'll see. With that, it's too early. Okay, just because he impressed me and dominated the Masters this over the weekend, let's slow down on it. I'm not saying you, Kyle. I'm just saying people. Yeah, let's slow down on labeling him, the next Tiger Woods, because we all know Tiger Woods dominated. When he dominated his sport of golf, he dominated the sport of golf. So let's I don't think I don't see it yet. I mean, it takes more than just one impressive, tournament showing on a major for me to be like, oh, this dude can be the next Tiger. Let's see what he's gonna do within his next 12 to 14 months, and then we'll see, because he might stink up at the British Open, he might stink up in the U.S. Open, like, you never know, and then it's gonna be like, oh, whatever. I thought we was gonna label him the next Tiger. So, now don't get me wrong, the Masters what he did with the Masters was very, very impressive. I was like, oh my God, I knew he won after the first round, in my opinion. But,
he really had it locked really on Thursday.
Yeah, let's. I don't want to get too hype up in the moment. Is he going to be the next Tiger? Let's wait and see. But that was a really impressive outing he did at the Masters. I mean, like you said, me and you play golf. And the way they make it look so easy, when you go out there, it's like, oh, my God. It just gives you a new level of respect for golfers every time. Every time when I go out there, I just be like, wow. They just make it look so easy. How they get out those bunkers and they get so close to the pins. I mean, it's amazing. I'd be like, man, them same shots I see them shooting and getting close, I'd be like, man, I would have probably overhit the pin, overhit the hole like about another 10 to 15 yards. And I've been looking stupid. So, yeah, man, it was impressive. But let's slow down on the Tiger Woods comparison, though.
No doubt. What about you, FIFO? What's your take on it, man? Jordan Spieth, man, do you think he's the next Tiger?
Man, let the kid live. Let him build his legacy. Why he got to be the next something? Let him be the first Jordan Spieth,
right?
Man. Like,
off of one showing, though. Off of one turn.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Look, just like there'll never be another Jordan, there's never going to be another Tiger, there's never going to be another Larry Bird, and there's a reason for that. Yeah, you can try to compare, greats to other greats, but you got to let them build or, feel their own past, man. And after one showing, exactly. Like Kobe, as much as some people in particular, I ain't gonna say no names, may think that I'm a Kobe hater. I am not, but he had to pave his own way. And at the end of the day, you can't take his 3 chips, or no, I'm sorry, what is it, 5?
5, yeah, 5.
You can't take his 5 chips away from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't take that away. You can't take LeBron's pass away from them. You know what I'm saying? And whether your opinion, you think that one is greater than the other, you got to respect them for what they've been able to do. And Jordan Spieth hasn't done shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man, let's talk Tiger Woods comparison after like 5 Masters. You know what I'm saying? Like, one, that's too much, man. We just fishing for the next guy. It'll happen. We just can't.
That's a very good point. What about you, Ken, man? What's your take on it, man? Jordan Spieth, man.
I thought he had a great Masters. I think that was it. I didn't take it past that, man. Look, I want people, man. Everybody's looking for that next guy. There'll never be another Tiger Woods. And to put that on Spieth, man, that's unfair to him, because he's not going to be able to live up to that. He was just hot. That could have been his 50-point game in the NBA, or his 7-touchdown game. But will he be able to duplicate that over and over and over and over again? I don't know. Now, I will say this. It was a hell of a performance. And I'm like, good God, this guy's just killing it right now. And then the closer and closer he got to breaking and setting records, I knew it was coming. And lo and behold, it did. So I get it. I understand why people are hyped. I know they're looking for a new face of golf, because there really isn't one. I understand that, you know, he's associated with some pretty special causes and stuff like that. You know, he appears to be an overall good guy, but nah, man, let that man be him, and let Tiger be Tiger. Now, speaking of Tiger, I was glad that he was playing as well as he was, because I want to see him come back.
Especially that third round, man. When he started fist pumping and he was hitting those long birdies and stuff, I was like, okay, Tiger looking like Tiger of old. I got kind of, it was kind of good seeing him fist pumping stuff.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, did y'all peep the curse? Man, CBS got to learn to like use his microphone.
Hey, whoever was working the dump button, man, they should have gotten fired, because everybody who cussed at the Masters, the microphones were picking them up so fast, man, so fast. I agree with everybody, man, and I think FIFO made a great point. I think their golf is, and I get it, because in the hiatus that Tiger has taken the last couple of years, you know, due to injuries and stuff like that, the numbers are down. And I mean, let's just keep it real. People tune in to see Tiger. Now, whether or not you're a fan or not, that goes beyond that. But Tiger brings in the casual person who may not even watch golf. You know, we watch it because we play, but I think it's way too early to tell with Spieth. I think he played phenomenal. I think it's only been done a handful, maybe 2 or 3 times, where someone has led from start to finish at the Masters. He looked kind of shaky, you know, a little, and I was interested to see how things were going to play out on Saturday, as he started to be a little shaky, and then you had guys like Tiger and Phil were coming on strong, but the lead that he had, he wasn't going to relinquish that going into Sunday.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's way too early to tell. I think, like you said, you got guys out there like Rory McIlroy, who are right there. I mean, hell, the guy Bubba Watson who won last year. It's still a lot of young cats out there that still can play. And then you still got, you know, your Tigers. You still got your Phil Mickelsons and Ernie Els and guys like that who are proven veterans. So give it some time. Give me a couple of years. At 21, I mean, a lot of stuff can happen. Like B said, golf is such a demanding sport and such a sport that, you know, you can look like a world beater one week and just be trashed the next.
Yep. He cannot make the cut. He cannot make the cut
for
the next major. It could be. It's crazy. That's how crazy golf is, man.
And I think what we're seeing and what we saw a little bit in the Masters, we saw a guy like Tiger, you know, getting his confidence back. And we talked about it on previous shows that, you know, a guy like Tiger, that's what he's missing. He's missing confidence, which sounds crazy because if you think about a guy like Jordan or Kobe or LeBron or someone like that, you don't think that, or Peyton Manning, like that they would lack confidence. I mean, every shot Kobe takes, he thinks he's going to make it. You know, same for LeBron. And I don't know if we've ever seen guys at that nature go into slumps to the point where they're doubting themselves. I mean, I know Jordan would probably never admit it. I don't even know if that's even happened to him before. But, you know, I think give Tiger some time, he'll be back. But, yeah, big shout out to Jordan Spieth, man, for coming home with the Masters. 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. We're talking about it all this week. We're talking about Jordan Spieth. We're talking about Tiger Woods. We're going to get into some Troy Polamalu talk. Right now I want to jump to Kentucky. 7 kids from Kentucky are leaving the team that made it to the national semifinals. I don't think it was a surprise that, you know, the bigger names went, but to have 7 guys leave your program, and here's the scary thing, Calipari is probably going to be just as loaded next year as he was this year. That being said, FIFO, I'm going to throw it to you, man. Of the 7, who do you think is ready from Kentucky to make it to the NBA?
I honestly think that, all right, I'll try to put them in order. The first one is hands down Karl Anthony Towns.
Right.
That boy skillfully is ready, man. He's ready for the NBA. You know, physically at 18, 19, 20, you're not ready. You're not physically competing till about 22, and you're not in your physical prime until 25 to 28. So he's a long ways away from being in his physical prime, but skillfully he's ready, man. He's ready. He's one of those dudes I think could have came out of high school and you would have seen flashes, and I don't think he really needed college. Willie Cauley-Stein, I think, is second most NBA ready because he brings NBA intangibles already to the court, where he has great perimeter defense for a guy his size. You already know he can rebound and block shots. All of those things translate to the NBA, and I don't think that he's going to be a high pick, but I think where he's drafted, hopefully there's a team that just requires that of him. Because if you want him to be a 2010 guy, that's not going to be Willie Cauley-Stein. He is going to be, I think, a better perimeter defender, Tyson Chandler type of player. And I think he's probably the second most NBA ready to contribute right away. And then I'm going to go the Twins. Which one? I think they're both relatively the same. I think that we saw the same from both of them in college. So I don't know which one is more ready than the other. I think they got NBA prototypical size, but I don't know how what their games are going to be in the NBA because they weren't asked to do much in college because their team was so good. So I'm real interested to see, but I will have a better grasp as to what they'll be after Summer League. So we'll revisit the Twins after Summer League. And then it's the who's the guard that had that 8-point spurt in that game? What's his the other freshman? I can't remember his name. Y'all know me and names.
Right. It's all good.
Yeah, but Dakari Johnson I think is the next ready after the Twins. Again, another big man. You know what he could do. I think his upside is a little higher than Willie Cauley-Stein as an overall player, but defensively, I just think Willie Cauley is ready day one. And then that guard I couldn't name, and I know there's another one. But yeah, that's my order, man. That's my order right there.
Okay. What about you, Ken? 7 Kentucky Wildcats go to the NBA. Who? And you don't. I mean, if you want to, you can put them in order, or if you just feel like naming the ones you think are ready. Who do you think's ready, or do you think they're all ready?
No, they're no, not all of them are ready. I think that I would take definitely Karl Anthony Towns. He showed that he has some nice low post moves. He's physical. He's big. So I think he's definitely ready. He can play defense. He can hit free throws. He's probably the most ready out of all of them. I think just from just what he potentially could be, Willie Cauley-Stein would be next. And then I like that Booker kid, man. I think that guy has some game in him, and we just didn't get a chance to really see it because he was coming off the bench. But I think if he would have had some more run, I think we would have seen a lot of him. But he could definitely shoot from all over the court, and so I like him a lot. So those are the 3 guys that I have. I'm a little concerned about the Harrison twins. I understand they have size, and one of them, definitely has that, clutch in him. But, it's unfortunate, and I don't even know if they would have been first-round picks if they would have came out, a year later or last year or whatever. But, I think that for them, look, they have nothing else really left to prove, honestly, in the NBA. So I guess if I am them, if I could be a second-round pick, I'll take that. But, I guess the super competitive person in me would want to be a number 1 pick, but I would also have to be a realist and realize that, hey, if I can get there, I can do whatever I need to do to make myself, a viable asset to a lot of teams. So I just need to get there first. I understood their decision, but their projections, I don't know if anybody really sat down and said, hey, you're projected to go here, here, here. And then, on top of that, I don't know if, they said, well, it's not going to improve if you come back. So anyway, so the Harrison twins, I'm kind of curious to see what happens with them when they get drafted, if they get drafted. But my top 3 would definitely be Karl Anthony Towns, Willie Cauley-Stein, and that Booker kid.
Okay.
What about Dakari?
Dakari Johnson?
Yeah. What do you, like?
You know what, man? I just didn't, from the games that I saw, he has size, but I just didn't see much of his game. Because every time I saw him out there, he missed a shot or he was fouling somebody, you know, and that was it. So I don't know much about his game to really comment much on him. So I would have to defer to you or B on that one.
You know what it reminds me of? Remember Gorgie James from Ohio State a couple years ago?
Yeah,
Minnesota now?
Right.
That's what it reminds me of. But the thing is that he's not as far along as Gorgie was when he left college. Because Gorgie was actually able to add a jump shot to his game. And that's how I see Dakari. And that's why I said I think that as an overall player, I think he could be better than Willie Cauley-Stein, but I don't know if he's there yet, but I think he has the foundation to do it. Will he do it? I don't know. But man, you know, and then with the Twins, I don't know, man. I think it's so interesting because they're prototypical guard sizes. And I don't know what position they're going to play in the NBA. But it's so interesting because in the NBA now, there's a lot of just guards in the NBA. Like, you have a lot of point guards, you have a couple shooting guards, but there's a lot of just guards. Like, Tyreek Evans is, like, to me, he's a guard. He plays a lot of small forward, but, you know, he's playing point guard now a little bit. So, like, he's a guard. There's a lot of just guards, and I think that they fit. I just have to see them on the NBA stage because they weren't asked to do so much. You know what I'm saying? So I think that athletically they can compete. I just got to see, man. I got to see where they like to attack and all of those type of things. But I just think that just based on them physically, I think that they can be good at the next level, just off of them physically. So I just have to see how they can apply their skills against NBA talent. But I think their potential is higher.
I got a bad feeling about the Twins for some reason. I don't know. I think they might.
Really?
Be a bust. Yeah, I think it might be a bust for some reason. I don't know because, I mean, yeah, they had one of the Harrisons got like a little clutch factor, but just dribbling everything. It's just like, man, you know, and then defensively, I don't know, man. It's just something about them. I think they just gonna be a bust almost, pretty much. They gonna get drafted, and we probably ain't gonna really hear much about them no more. They gonna end up. I don't want to compare them as this, but they're gonna end up like an Adam Morrison. Like, we just ain't gonna hear about them no more. It's like,
come on,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Adam Morrison.
Not saying they play as bad as him or nothing like that. But I'm just saying,
I get where you're coming from, though, B.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be an afterthought after about 3 seasons. They're gonna be an afterthought. I don't think we're gonna, you know. Now, I mean, hey, remember this conversation if I'm wrong, because I will admit when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But if I'm right,
you know what,
Go ahead, people.
B, you know, it's like me and you the only ones that really watch like summer league like that. So all I'm saying is reserve judgment. Reserve judgment to at least you see them in summer league. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because you know you can see something. Summer league isn't going to show you everything, but you can see flashes, right? And that's all I'm saying. Let's at least see summer league, but before we write them off.
All right.
You know what concerns me is that, like, I looked at a couple of these so-called experts and these prognosticators as far as, like, when they talk about where guys are going to go, and I didn't see anybody picking the Harrison twins going in the first round. And that's problematic because you all know that if you don't go if you're not a first-round pick, there's nothing guaranteed. You know, there's no guarantee that you're going to make a roster spot. So you could end up in the NBA DL. Or playing overseas, or
Kyle, you can be an unrestricted free agent and have a nice little career like Mr. Wesley Matthews.
That's true.
And there's a lot of Ramon Sessions made a lot of money in this league, and they make more money quicker. They make They make more money quicker than the later first round picks because they become unrestricted free agents quicker.
Yes,
so
I'm not
just
disagreeing
saying.
with that. I'm just saying, like, I guess my thing is, I'm worried about them actually and again, it goes back to, like you said, summer league. A lot of this depends on where you actually land. You know, are you a good fit? Because if you look at the kid, what's the kid's name who played with them. I think his last name was Young, played with Kentucky last year, the left-handed kid. It was pretty nice. He had, prototypical guard size, like you said, he's like 6'6", 6'7", athletic, but, didn't really he was clutch, but he really didn't do a lot of things great. He managed to, I think he made the Celtics team, but he's been up and down between the Celtics roster and the NBA DL. That said, does that beat going to Kentucky again for another season and to have people pick through your game? And, Cal's got another squad coming in next year. So, and the Harrison twins would be etched in as starters next year if they came back. I just don't know. As far as answering the question, the person who looks the most NBA ready to me, obviously, is Karl Anthony Towns, and then Willie Cauley-Stein. I agree with you, FIFO. If you get him in your system, he'll do exactly what you just said. But I think outside of that, I think really, and I understand why they left, but really those two to me are really the only ones that I think are NBA ready and that can come in and contribute. I think the rest of them, man, they may have a hard time making a roster depending on where they fall. And I wish the best for them, but a couple of them, man, they got bad advice, man. And I understand the thought of trying to strike while the iron's hot, but at the same time, I don't know if it would have hurt them to go back, like Dakari Johnson. I don't know if it would have hurt him to go back for another year and play at Kentucky. I don't know. And I understand Calipari has another crop of freshmen coming in, but he would have blended right in and they could have made another run for it. So we'll see. But I think Towns is right there. Towns, you could make a case for Towns going number one. Cauley-Stein, I think, probably will be a late first-round pick. Everybody else, I don't know, man. I don't know. And again, I'll be looking forward to – I don't spend a lot of time watching Summer League, but I will this year. I'm looking forward to seeing where these guys land and see how their game – because keep in mind, like you said, FIFO, at Kentucky they weren't asked to do a lot because they played in diminished minutes. So, over a period of time we'll be able to see once they get to the NBA how their game translates. The phone number to call in, 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. You're locked in to the place where sports opinions collide. I'm your host, 12 Kyle, joined by my partners, Beezy, FIFO, and Ken. Hit us up, 646-478-0356. Next thing I want to talk about before we jump to, because I see we got a couple of phone calls coming in. Troy Polamalu, the great Steeler, retired last week after 12 seasons in the NFL. He was an 8-time Pro Bowler, all-team, first for all-team several times. He has 2 Super Bowl rings. Some say Troy Polamalu is a first-ballot Hall of Famer. So it got me to thinking, one of his main counterparts was Ed Reed, who retired last year. Now, just for the sake of an argument, let's say that Ed Reed does not get into the Hall of Fame on his first go-round. And let's say that Ed Reed is sitting there as a finalist, and it's between Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu for a vote to get in the Hall of Fame. Ken, if you had one vote, who are you voting in, Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu?
Troy. I'll put him there, man. Troy, man, like there were times when I would watch the Steelers, and I would say to myself, "Oh man, he just got lucky. He's not that good." And then after a while, you were like, "Dang man, that guy really is that good." Like his instincts, his football instincts were off the charts because he had impeccable timing. And one play that I'm sure we've all seen just stick out in my head was when he jumped over the line of scrimmage to tackle a QB or a running back in the backfield when the ball was high. Like, he would do stuff like that all the time. He could tackle, he could hit, he could intercept the ball, and he was just a nightmare on the field, and people had to game plan for him. And this guy would literally change the game at any moment, and people fed off of that. And after a while, man, you just had, and it was really difficult seeing him in the latter parts of his career. And I'm glad he's leaving now because you're like you know it's there, but he just can't do it like he used to do. And it's like and you just like nah, man, you need to go ahead and tap out now. So I think just because of the things that I've seen him do repeatedly for that franchise, I would have to be, just off. When you first asked me, Troy would be that guy, because I've just always seen him he's just always doing something, man. And you're like, how does he do it? And that was the thing about him, man. He was a play maker, and there are not a lot of guys in the NFL that could literally change a game, like the Ray Lewises and the Derry Thomases and the Lawrence Taylors and guys like that, man. Warren Sapp, man, come on, man. Like, when these guys play, they impact the game and they can change the game. And Troy was one of those players.
Okay. What about you, B? You got one Hall of Fame vote, man. Who gets it? Ed Reed or Troy Polamalu?
I'm gonna go with Troy.
Okay.
Pretty much
crazy.
He's like one of the only things I've seen that, like, whenever the ball is around, that dude is after it, man. That dude was after the ball. Like, he was like one of those dudes, like, you gotta look for that hair. Like, if you don't know where that hair is at, you're gonna be in trouble, because that dude was not. I mean, he was not afraid. Like, he came. You come across that middle, he's gonna knock you out, no matter how big the running backs or fullbacks was. He was coming through trying to knock your block off. And I mean, that's one thing I remember about Troy. I mean, no, just for Ed Reed. Ed Reed was probably one of the best coverage safeties that I think I've seen, which I think you can probably give an edge to Troy if you want to. But I guess for me, I like the hitting. Just off pure hitting, man. That dude was a beast, man. He did not joke around when it came on that ball. Wherever the ball was at, anywhere, I always see him coming around, flying that shoulder. I'm like, dude, that dude is a beast. Every time he's just a beast.
Okay. What about you, FIFO, man? Troy Polamalu or Ed Reed?
I know I'm being a little bit biased by Ed Reed going to the U, but look, honestly, I love Troy, but I just think at their position, what they're asked to do, Ed Reed was the best safety to do it. Like, Troy was, I think, the prototypical strong safety, and Ed Reed was the prototypical free safety. And Troy was a bigger hitter. I give him that. But Ed Reed was a big hitter, and he give me another safety maybe outside of Rod Woodson that played the ball better in the air than Ed Reed. There was none. There was none. He is the best. He was the Deion Sanders of safety. You throw that ball up there, guess what? Ed Reed around that ball. And you come around this corner, you going to get popped. You going to get popped. Because the boys from the U hit. Name me one boy from the U that don't hit, man. So, to me, if I had to pick one, I'm picking Ed Reed. And I'm over here looking at stats, too. Wait, hold on. We talking. Hold on. Come back to me, Kyle. Go, Kyle. Let me see. Total for the career, Ed Reed got 531 tackles. What Polamalu got? 581. 50 more tackles. 50 more tackles. You talking about from a free safety. Now let's go to interceptions. Hold on. Where are interceptions? Where are interceptions? All right.
I think Reed has more interceptions.
And Reed got how many INTs over here? Man, Ed Reed double Polamalu's. Polamalu's interceptions. Yeah, and he's only 50 tackles off. Ed Reed all day.
I'm going to go, man, and this one's tough, man. I'm going to be honest. This is tough because I think both are Hall of Famers, I think both, just for the sake of this argument, I think both will get in. I hope both are first ballot Hall of Famers, although I could make a case that Troy Polamalu isn't even the best Pittsburgh Steelers safety in history. That would belong to the great Donnie Shell, who is not in the Hall of Fame, but that's another story for another day. Who happened to go to South Carolina State.
Oh, wow. He's not in the Hall of Fame?
No, he's not. He anchored four of those Steeler championships in the 70s. I think Shell got overlooked by the Mean Joe Greens and the L.C. Greenwoods and the Jack Lamberts and those guys. But
okay.
but he should be in he's not in. I think that he will get in at some point, maybe on the senior committee. But all biases aside, because I love Donnie Shell, I think Donnie Shell's numbers are better than Polamalu. So, but that being said, just for the sake of this argument, I'm gonna give a slight edge to Polamalu, man. It's just a slight edge because and like you said, Ed Reed is a ball hawk. He was always around the ball, and unlike Polamalu, when Ed Reed got an interception, he was trying to take it to the house. He was looking for a convoy. He was looking for some blockers. He was trying to take it to the house. Now, the one thing, like you did say, I think Ed Reed he's known to knock you out. I mean, Polamalu's going to make a tackle. Ed Reed was going to knock you out. Both great safeties in their own right, respectively. But, yeah, man, I would give the slight edge to Polamalu. But, I mean, slight. When I say slight edge, I mean by the slimmest of threads. By the slimmest of threads.
Yeah, but y'all tripping. Ed Reed had one more Pro Bowl and one more all NFL team nomination than Polamalu. And he was older than Polamalu, and he played more games than Polamalu. He started more games than Polamalu. More interceptions, 50 less tackles from a position that shouldn't even be getting the same amount of tackles as a strong safety.
Right.
Y'all tripping. Y'all are tripping.
If he played more games, then he's gonna have a slight advantage in stats, man. If he played more games.
So that means he's healthier and he had more longevity than Polamalu. That's what I'm saying. That's what my point is.
That's because Polamalu played more like he was like a D Wade. You know how D Wade just play like so loose cannon. You like that's why he gonna probably stay injured or whatever. That's how Troy Polamalu was. I mean, he couldn't help the way he played. That's just how he played. That's why he stayed injured more. He didn't care. He would come in and hit you. He didn't care.
I feel all that, but I'm just saying. I just think that Ed Reed is arguably the best safety to do it overall. Overall safety. I'm not talking about just coverage, hitting. I'm just talking about overall as a total package. If I had to choose one or the other to be the last line of my defense, I'm picking Ed Reed. Whether you running the ball with whatever running back you come in with, if you trying to throw deep to Randy Moss, it don't matter. Give me Ed Reed. In a 46 Bear defense, give me Ed Reed.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? I'm laughing over here. Our boy Q, the sixth man, he sent a tweet. He said, "Somebody remind FIFO that Brian Dawkins is better than both." Slow down, Q.
Oh, hell no. Man, get out of here.
Slow down,
get out of here.
I know you're gonna call in a minute. Hit us up 646-478-0356.
Brian
Again,
Dawkins was a beat, though.
646-478-0356, man. Now, man, let's switch it to the NBA, man. We're going to preview these upcoming. You know what? Let's jump to the phone line real quick. Let's jump before we start previewing this. Actually, let's preview one real quick, and then we'll jump to the phones. Let's go to the first round of the NBA playoffs. Previewing it. It looks like it's going. Well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's going to be the Pelicans. The Pelicans look like they will secure the.
They're beating San Antonio?
Oh.
Nah.
Well, they hold a tiebreaker over New Orleans. But
they're tied.
Pelicans they're paying the Spurs and the Thunder paying Minnesota.
Exactly.
Right.
And if they both win, the Pelicans get it. But if the Pelicans lose, then
OKC win, then OKC.
And OKC win, then exactly. And if
the
they both lose,
chances
then the
are pretty
Pelicans
high.
get it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
now, wait, hold on. Is San Antonio's resting anybody though?
I don't know.
It don't really
I wouldn't
matter
be surprised.
with them.
What do you mean it don't matter?
Because man, San Antonio can beat you with their B squad. I've seen it.
I agree. But all I'm saying is I don't think San Antonio's B squad is better than the Pelicans' full squad being hungry trying to make the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe not. The systems they run, man, they're just so efficient. And no matter who's in there.
Look. That boy Anthony Davis is the truth, though. So, anything's possible when you got a player like that on your squad. So that's why I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt if Popovich is resting his starters.
All right.
Okay, so let's take it there then, man. Let's go Warriors versus the Pelicans or the Thunder. Who wins the series, and in how many games, B?
The Pelicans. You said Pelicans and Warriors?
Yeah, Pelicans, because that would be a 1-8 matchup. Either Pelicans or the Thunder.
I wouldn't be surprised if that'd be a sweep. 5 games at most. I mean, I can see Pelicans. You can always give NBA teams the benefit of the doubt and give them 1 game. Whenever it's like a mismatch, I'm like, okay, they're gonna get 1 emotional game at home. I can see Pelicans getting that 1 hype game at home, but that's about it. I mean, 5 games, sweep. 5 games or a sweep, man. Golden State Warriors in that series.
What about you, FIFO? Pelicans or Thunder versus Warriors?
I agree with B. If it's the Pelicans, it'll be a gentleman's sweep. I believe in Anthony Davis, and I think that he's good enough to win that game 3 at home by himself if need be.
Yep.
He's that great. He could win a game in the playoffs. But it'll be a gentleman's sweep, 5 games. And then I think with OKC, I think OKC could push. They could probably win 2 games against Golden State because they have experienced players on their squad and they know what playoff basketball is like. I think that they can push them. I think that they can grind a Golden State. But we saw last night, man. Clay did 37.5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like those 2 guys at any given time, and we know who the other guy I'm referencing is, they get hot. There's no defense. There is no defense. So I don't think neither one of the A seed is going to win more than 2 games, man. But I think both are going to be interesting. But I still want the Pelicans to make it because they need it, and OKC doesn't.
Right.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I agree, too. I agree about that. What about you, Ken? Warriors versus Pelicans or Thunder? Who wins and how many games?
If it's the Thunder, the Warriors will sweep the Thunder. I think it's going to be 4 games. FIFO, I think Russell Westbrook, who else on that squad has playoff experience besides him? I know you can find a few more bodies, but as Cantor and Waiters and
DJ Augustine and Sam Adams and who else? Hold on, let me. What's his name? Anthony Morrow. Who else is on that squad? Collison. Who's the big boy Collison? Him. They got some players, man. They got some players that done played in the playoffs. They know what to expect. I'm not talking about championship players. They done went far, but I'm saying they know what to expect. It's not going to be a shock to them.
Yeah, I think it's going to be too much for them to play a complete team, a fully healthy team like the Warriors. I think this stretch run that the Thunder has been on, fighting for your lives. I mean, it's been rough on Westbrook, and I give him all the credit in the world. I mean, he's a warrior and night in and night out, but he's doing all of these fantastic things on the court, and it's not resulting in the W's that they need. And I think that
they're 2-7 in games when he scores 40.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's kind of insane when you think about it, man. But so then you take that, and he's a gunner, man. He's going for it. You put that guy in the playoffs where he feels like it may just be him versus everybody. I don't know, man. I think the Warriors will just pick them apart. I think they will, unfortunately. So I'm with you guys. I would rather see the Pelicans in the playoffs because they're coming in. Drew Holiday is back, so they're coming in healthy. And I think they could at least get 2 games and make it interesting off of Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday alone. And Tyreek Evans, he's balling, so he can fill the stat sheet. Eric Gordon can pop threes on you, and he can fill the stat sheet, in certain situations. I mean, he has when Holiday was out or when Evans needed to take a rest, from running the offense. So I think they could make it competitive. And, I think they could get 5, I think it could go 5 or 6. But they're going to sweep the Thunder.
Okay. I think it'll be a sweep both ways. I don't think, and I agree with B. I think there'll be that one game where a team like the Pelicans can get their first game at home, Game 3, where they'll be amped up. But I think I think FIFA touched on a great point. Night in and night out, and you just don't know who it's going to be. But you can have those moments where Klay Thompson or Steph Curry just go off, and you look at the scoreboard, and the next thing you know, these guys got 20 and a quarter or 15, 16 and a quarter, and they're on their way to 40, maybe 50 points. It's tough, man. And I much like you guys, I would at this point I would prefer to see even in a sweep. I think the Pelicans they'd make it 4 competitive games. I don't want to see Russell Westbrook out there just leaving it all on the court by himself. And I think he's a warrior. I think he's done everything that you can ask. I laughed at his post-game comments last night when he said, he'll give a damn what people think about him taking the shots, which brings me to a quick question before we jump to the phone lines. Kobe Bryant, man. Kobe Bryant tweeted out the other day a meme, and the meme says he was reading Russell Westbrook's stats, 54-9 and 8 assists, 49% from the field. But all the media cares about is the 43 field goal attempts. And he put #stop it. Ken, what do you think about him coming to the defensive right? We know that they've battled on the court, but Kobe has a great deal of respect for Russell Westbrook. They work out together from time to time in the offseason in L.A. I wouldn't call them friends, but they have a mutual respect for each other. What do you think about him coming to the defense of Russell Westbrook? I mean, he got 54 in that game on Sunday, and as Kobe mentioned, all people talked about was the 43 field goal attempts. What do you think about Kobe taking to Twitter and taking the media to task?
You know what I think is good, because I think he's providing additional context to that game. Because I'll be honest, when I looked at the box score, I saw 43 shot attempts too. And I was like, oh, my God, like, what was going on in OKC? And then the first thing I saw when I looked at it, I didn't delve any deeper than that. I was like, damn, 43 shots. Russell went off. Was everybody else missing? What was going on? I didn't watch the game. It wasn't until later that I found out that he shot close to 50%. So when I found that out, it had to alter kind of how I looked at it, because that's an efficient game. That's you're taking one and you're making one. You're missing one and you're making one. You're missing one and you're making one. So depending on how the game flows, I was okay with that, because it's not like he was just jacking those shots and missing. It's not like he was intentionally going for 50 or 60 points. I think he just was really in the moment and was just doing whatever he felt like he needed to do in order to win that game. And so I understand that the media will look at that like I did, but I don't think they'll fall back from it the way I did, because they would try to take that and sensationalize it, because it's a talking point for them to get a story out of. Here's a guy that's taking 43 shots. He put up 54, but he took the 43 shots to do it. That's a headline, for a lot of them that are chasing, clicks. And it's going to work. But they won't look at the efficiency of the shot, of his shot. They won't look at the 8 rebounds and 7 assists, if I think I got that correctly. They just look at just that one thing, and they'll hone in on it, and that'll be that. And look, we're talking about Kobe Bryant, right? Kobe is known to take and jack up shots. Kobe don't give a damn. Kobe is going to. So when Kobe sees that, he sees the efficiency of Russell Westbrook, but he also sees a kindred spirit in Russell Westbrook. So he's like, hey man, that's me. If I was playing on that squad, I would be out there, jacking them up too. So Kobe gets it, but Kobe also appreciates the efficiency. He's like, there's another layer to this that is not being explored and not being told the way it should be. And, a lot of the media is really missing the mark. And I think that, it would have been nice to see somebody cover it from that perspective.
Okay. What about you, FIFO? Kobe defending Russell Westbrook, man. What's your take on it?
As he should. We didn't did we give any flack to Golden State for trying to force feed the ball to Clay last night? He had it going, and it got out of their offense. And sometimes when you have special players doing special things, you give them the ball. And, especially when it's a point guard, because they're going to have the ball anyway. And, of course, everybody's going to look at the 43 shots. But like Ken said, when you shoot damn near 50%, guess what? You keep shooting. It's as simple as that. And then you're talking about a guy that is, I think, at least the last couple of weeks has been tied with James Harden for, leading the league in scoring. So he's going to get shots. And for the career, he's mid-40%. So if he's shooting close to 50%, that's a great game for him. And now he doesn't have KD. He doesn't have Ibaka. He don't have the other hired guns. He is the only gun. So what's going to happen? He's going to take shots. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you tell me this man was 9 for 43, we got problems.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, look. There's about 5 to 20-something shots that you didn't have to take if you 9 for 23. Or 9 for 43 at that point. But, yeah, man, no. And then I think, Kyle, interesting, you're in the media now, and you left off the part that Russell Westbrook said, look, I only care about what my teammates think, and my teammates don't have a problem with it. Because at the end of the day, those are his coworkers. That's whose opinions truly matter. The media, they're gonna, it's all. Look, we're only gonna take bits and pieces that make us have a reaction. But at the end of the day, the only thing that truly cares, that he cares about, is what his GM is saying, what his owner is saying, what his coach is saying, and most importantly, what his teammates feel and what they think. Because if he's taking 43 bad shots, somebody in that locker room is going to say something, whether it's to his face or behind his back or whatever, but that locker room ain't going to be nice. And I clearly, and I don't have no inside sources, but just looking at the body language, looking at how hard they play with him, because he is the hardest playing basketball player in the NBA right now, looking at how you don't play that hard for a guy you don't at least respect.
Right.
And if he was taking bad shots, you don't respect that player. They respect Russell. So they don't have no issues, man. I don't have no issues, and Kobe was right.
Okay. What about you, B? Take on Kobe defending. Someone tweeted us. He said Kobe defending a young Kobe.
Pretty much.
Cool.
Just like people, the thing I noticed that the media didn't peep. Of course, they looked at the shot attempts, but they didn't look how efficient it was, his percentage. So to me, when I saw that, I was like, why is people tripping over that? Over them taking that many shots and him being that efficient. Hell, if I'm his teammate, I'm gonna keep feeding his ass the damn ball too. I'm like, shit, hey, Russell, hey man, you going, dude? Come on, come on, lead us to the promised land, man. I'm gonna keep feeding them. So I don't see what the huge issue was. I thought it was funny that Kobe, because Kobe don't really tweet like that. So it was funny for him to actually have some type of that feeling that way, for him to actually tweet something about it, and then keep on saying, we got to take criticism. You can't criticize rings, so all you got to do is keep winning. And they can't say nothing about winning and all that stuff. So all that stuff, I thought it was funny. It was just like, okay, Kobe tweeted that. That's hilarious. But Westbrook, hell, he doing what pretty much what if it's like people said, if his team ever got an issue with it, which if I was a teammate, I wouldn't have no issue with it either. Hey, I'm gonna make sure out of those 43 shots, the ones he's making, I'm gonna get about 10 assists from him. I'll tell you that much. So I don't have no issue with it, man. A lot of it is funny. Yeah, a lot of it is hilarious to me.
I thought what was interesting was Kobe went on to tweet, and they failed to mention this, but Kobe went on to tweet about Jordan having a similar game in a loss.
Yeah.
And he said Iverson did the same. He said Iverson shot like that and they won. So he said, but he was basically saying you can't criticize greatness. And my thing is this. I told Ken this, if Russell Westbrook doesn't take the shots, who's going to take the shots on that team? I mean, Durant's not there. Ibaka's not there.
Right.
Exactly. They don't have anybody else.
There's no way Russell Westbrook would have still shot 43 shots if Ibaka and Kevin Durant was there. No way. I mean, unless
it's almost like a catch-22. You know, he's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, if he came out and took 10 shots, people would say, well, what is he doing in the absence of Kevin Durant? So I mean, it's not much they can do. And trust me, if they make the playoffs, we're going to see more of the same. Because he's really going to have to shoot to keep him in the game.
What was you about to say something?
The only way Russell Westbrook takes 43 shots with KD and Ibaka on the court is if this guy was like 30 for 43.
Right.
Like he had, a crazy night.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only way.
He had to have like a lot of experience for him to still shoot that many shots with Durant and Ibaka on the team. Yep.
So here's what I want to know. Do you guys really think Kobe was sitting up there making that mean himself, or did he send that off to somebody to have it made? Because I think
Kobe probably did it himself. Kobe's, he tweets from time to time. He's not really big on Twitter like that, but he does. I think he probably did it himself.
And here's the thing, man.
That's interesting.
I think that Kobe, with so many years, people kind of, Kobe being so misunderstood that now that he is on social media, it's not going to be nobody else's voice but his. Like the greats are all control freaks, and there is no way that I'm going to tell you, hey, look, you know what, do something like this, and then just put it out there. Fuck that. Hell no. Kobe ain't doing that, Ken. Man, what do you mean, man? What you smoking, Ken?
Yeah, and I think at this point, and that's one of the beauties of social media, is that it's their words. You know, you can't misquote me if I tweet out something. You know, if LeBron says something about his game after his game in a tweet, then that's what it is. In fact, in some ways, you don't even have to talk to the media, and the media will make a story around your tweet. So I definitely think Kobe is not if it's his words, it's going to come out of his mouth, and he's not going to leave anything up to be misinterpreted. The phone number to call in.
Talk shit on Instagram and then claiming he was hacked.
I hate that, man. I hate when guys talk trash or say something and then say somebody hacked their account. Nobody hacked your account, man. You typed that. But anyway, I digress. Let's jump to the phone lines, man. 646-478-0356. Let's take it to the sixth man, our boy Q. Q, what up?
Yo.
What up, Q?
Good, everybody.
Yeah, man.
What's going on, man?
Good, man.
Chilling. All right. Were we talking about the Pelicans? I stepped away for a minute. Were we talking about the Pelicans and the Warriors?
Possibly, yes.
Or were we talking? All right,
first round matchup.
Possibly. All right, so from a tanking perspective, I need the Thunder to make the playoffs so we can get the 18th pick in the draft. And because I think the Thunder would be the best team to take on the Warriors. You know, on any given night, anyone can be beaten. You know, and that's a quote from Christian Laettner. I hate him, but any given night, anyone can be beaten. I remember this is a completely different sport, but you remember back in, I think it was 2011, when the Packers looked literally unbeatable, and they were just surging. They were just surging. They were killing it. And I know it was Eli who came in. Eli came in.
It was Eli. Yep.
It was Eli came in, and they were getting just trucked the first day. It was like 21-7, and it was like, okay, this is gonna be over. And then around the second quarter, they started to come back, and they ended up winning the game. I'm not saying that could happen to, I'm sorry, I'm not saying that's gonna happen, but it's possible. Like, when it comes to playoff time, I think Russ is gonna unleash another animal. I still don't think this is Russell Westbrook's full potential. I still don't think we've seen it. I think this is what he has to do to keep his team afloat, but he hasn't done everything to make his game as good as I think it can be. And that's scary to me because he's coming out dropping 50-point games and 40-point games and triple-doubles and leading the league, scoring and whatnot. And I think the only thing about the Warriors that scares me is that they live and die by the three-pointer. And I've never seen a championship won by the three-pointer. I've seen championships won by great defense, which they have. I'm not saying that they don't have that. They have good defense. They have perimeter scoring, like I said. But it's all up to David Lee and Bogut. If they can't give them between the two, if they can give them 25 points between those two, I don't think they got a shot to win the whole thing. That's no disrespect, but that's just like the Spurs look too good right now, man. And I think the Thunder could push them.
I disagree with you, man.
You come on, man. You see the Warriors.
Wait. Hold on. This is the point that I disagree on. I disagree that Golden State is a three-point shooting, like they live by the three, die by the three. I think that they kill you by the three. I don't think they necessarily die by the three. Because when you watch them play, they can get any shot that they want to get. It doesn't have to be a three. Yes, they are a jump shooting team, primarily, but they can get layups. Did you see the game last night? Because when you have great shooting like that, you have to overplay, and you have to play uptight, like far out. So with Clay moving without the ball, the Iguodala, like think about how many great passing other players they have. Draymond Green is a good passer. Iguodala is a ball handler passer. Andrew Bogut is an amazing passer for a big man. And not only, like, the MVP candidate, Mr. Chicken Curry himself, you know what I'm saying? Like this, like these guys, man, like, yes, they jump shoot, but they can get easy buckets. They can get easy jump shots. So it's like getting it to a big man with an easy with one guy on him. If you move Clay and you and Steph Curry and stuff every game, no, they're not going to score and do all of this every game. But there's not going to be a game where both of them are off. That's not going to happen. That's number one. And if they both go off and that's it, you're going to lose by 40 if they both go off. Ask Memphis, they was down by 30.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Huh? Mike Conley was out, but what he gonna do? Steph been shitting on the whole league.
True, yeah. I mean, I just think that at any given time, you know, like we thought the same thing last year. Oh, the Warriors, they look good going into the playoffs, and the Clippers, they clipped them. I mean, but you got to admit though, Q, this Warrior team isn't like the team that was last year, and I kind of feel bad because I think Mark Jackson is a phenomenal coach, and for whatever reason, they've taken off under Steve Kerr. I mean, they have the best record in the NBA.
Yeah. But you know what it is? I think Golden State is only going to go as far as long as Andrew Bogut can stay healthy. Because I wish I could say, but Andrew Bogut. But if you look at Golden State Warriors' record when Andrew Bogut is healthy 100%, it's crazy. And then if you look at their record when he's not playing, you know, it's probably not as bad this season because they just had a phenomenal season. But previous years, whenever they don't have Andrew Bogut 100%, they're struggling. They're struggling. So I think as long as he can stay healthy, if he can stay healthy through this playoff, I think Golden State can make a run here.
That's what I said.
They can. But if they don't have him,
you know what,
they have to have him.
No, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say if he get hurt like game 2 or game 3, I'm not gonna pick him in to make it out the West. I'm just not. Just not. Go ahead, people.
And you know what, B? Andrew Bogut is their third or fourth most important player on that team.
Yep, he is. And people never realize that he's been that for the past few seasons, and that's why they haven't went as far as they went. I think if Mark Jackson would have had him healthy a couple of years straight, they would have went further than where they got eliminated at. And that's just my opinion. I just think Andrew Bogut, because he was a baller in Milwaukee, but he just always got hurt.
But you know what I think the biggest difference is between Steve Kerr and Mark Jackson? Just the way that they play. They make the extra pass now every time. Like they're getting excellent shots. That's that's my point. Like, yeah, they're a jump shooting, but they're getting open shots, man. And their offense predicated on the ability to shoot, but it's an offense. It's a tangible offense that when running properly, you can't stop it because you have every piece and they're deep and they're versatile. And I think that is the number one key element to every championship team, every team that's ever won a championship in the NBA, their number one asset is versatility. Versatility. You have to have it because think about it, right? Like if you don't have versatility, you're not going to make it through the playoffs because the way that you construct a team is not always an overall team. Sometimes you have a particular strength and then you have some weaknesses. So if you're a team that is matched up against a team that their strength is your weakness, you're going to lose. They might not be better than you, but they might beat you. Like Golden State a couple years ago, or not couple, but a while ago when they had Baron Davis and Matt Barnes and them, and they beat Dallas.
Yeah.
It was the matchup. But when you have versatility, you can match up and get that team out of their comfort zone or match them in their comfort zone long enough that you could come back and do what you do and get them out of what they do. So they have to have versatility, and Golden State has that almost more so than anybody in the NBA right now.
And they play defense too. I think that's the thing that kind of gets lost in the shuffle of SportsCenter highlights and seeing things. They play defense, and they play defense very well, and they will play defense, especially all the way through the shot clock, which I think you don't see a lot of in teams. Mm-hmm. I think people will really get a chance to see that, and that's one of the things I love about Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. Both of these guys are excellent defenders. So, I think you're gonna. It's more to them than just shooting 3-pointers and running around. And I think you'll see that, especially as the playoffs progress and we go further and further and deep into the playoffs. What else you got for us, Q?
Just like real quick question for all y'all. I'll think about this. All right, so we're gonna fast forward to 2020. All right, I'm gonna give you a few players. I'm gonna give you a few Wildcats, and I want you to rank them on their trajectory. If you can project, if they keep up their progression, rank them in the order from best to least impactful. I'm not even going to say words. I think all of these guys have potential to be great. All right, I'm going to give you Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, Nerlens Noel, and Julius Randle, and Karl Anthony Towns.
So who's the best out of that group?
Not like who's like the bum, but if you were to project their career, if you were to project their career in like 5 years, all of them, if you had to rank them from best to, I'm gonna say least impactful, because there's no worse. Like I think all 5 of these guys are gonna do damage. So
okay, I got you.
I would definitely go Anthony Davis 1. Hands down. Anthony Davis 1. I think DeMarcus is 2nd. I think Nerlens is it's going to be between Nerlens and Karl Anthony. I think Karl Anthony probably will be 3rd just because his offensive game is way more expansive. So I think he'll impact both sides of the floor a little bit more than Nerlens will. I'll probably put him 3rd, but I could maybe see Nerlens being 3rd. It just depends.
I put him 3rd.
I think they're 3, 4.
Just for that reason you said.
Okay. All right. So Karl Anthony Towns is 3rd, Nerlens 4th, Julius Randle 5th. I agree with FIFO. What about you, Ken?
we haven't seen much of Randle yet, so that's
we haven't seen Randle.
Yeah, just like projecting to see all of them stay healthy. I think Nerlens is working on that shot, man. I'm telling you, if he can get that KG jumper, I don't know, man. Like, I think he could be dangerous.
KG came into the league with one.
Yeah, he did.
True.
True. Now here's the thing. I'm not saying that Nerlens can't. I'm just saying there's a difference between learning to shoot and being a natural shooter and getting better. There's a big difference in that. And I'm not saying that later on in his career you can't leave a man open from 15 feet because he's going to need to do that because you're not going to be able to run and jump your whole career. That just doesn't happen. So he's going to need to be able to develop that. But he got time.
Yeah. I think the future of big men in this league, from my last note, is going to be very bright.
It's going to be crazy.
All 5 of these guys is going to be dominating. Kentucky about to take over the league, man.
Hey, as always, Q, man, we definitely appreciate you calling in, brother.
All right, man. Y'all have a good day. Peace.
All right, you too. Peace. Phone number Q call 646-478-0356. Again, 646-478-0356. I'm your host, 12 Kyle. This is Dead End Sports. I'm joined by my partners, Beezy, Ken, and FIFO. Hit us up, 646-478-0356. Before we jump back to the phone lines, I want to throw a quick question out there to you guys. Came from one of our followers, and I told him that we'd throw it on here, and I wanted to do it as a bonus question to you guys. I know we're in the midst of NBA talk, but let's break away for just one quick second. Beezy, you have a 20-year-old Muhammad Ali in his prime and a 20-year-old Mike Tyson in their prime. Who wins if they fight each other?
Oh, man, what type of crap? Oh, man. Muhammad Ali, because of his showmanship, his wit, his smartness, his IQ in the ring, I give the slight edge to Muhammad Ali. That's tough, man. That's a tough.
No, right?
That's a tough one, man. I give the slight edge to Muhammad Ali, man, because you know, Mike Tyson, you can get in Mike Tyson's psyche pretty easy. You know what I'm saying? And I think once Mike Tyson would have got frustrated with the movement of Muhammad Ali and him going around the ring and, you know, jab and all that stuff, because let's not forget now, Muhammad Ali, he was a heavyweight for a reason. The dude punches was fast and they were powerful too. So, you know, I think he would have frustrated Mike easy. But I think Mike would have easily scared the shit out of Muhammad Ali just those 3 or 4 times.
You think he would have scared him?
Huh?
You think he would have scared Ali?
Yes, man. What? Mike Tyson was fierce when he got inside. Once Mike Tyson get inside, he would have gave Ali a couple of those body shots. Oh, Ali would have woke up quick as hell. Trust me.
Remember that we're talking about a 20-year-old Ali.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Ali would have woke up quick as hell. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, look, he didn't even want to feel lifting punches. He did a great job of getting out of the way of lifting punches, and, you know, that was a young Ali. Trust me, he would not want to feel those Mike Tyson blows, man. I'm telling you, that would have woke Ali up so fast. And yeah, but I would have gave a slight edge to Ali, man. Ali just got that wit, the smarts, everything, man. He just would have outsmarted Mike Tyson. And plus Mike Tyson wasn't trained to go more than 5 or 6 rounds back then anyway, because he was knocking you out in the first round. So Ali was trained to go 15 rounds. So Ali would have lasted. All Ali would have do is just survive like the 5 or 6 rounds, and it would have been a wrap.
Yo, B, I agree with you, man. Ali didn't want to feel that Tyson body blow. They were talking about Tyson's punches hit harder than, or he generates more than 1,000 pounds of force, man.
Yeah.
Like, hey, man. Ali didn't want that.
Man, Ali would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Ali would have been praying to Allah. As soon as he felt that body blow, he would have been like, whoa.
You know,
go ahead.
I think Tyson was the best body hook person. You know what I'm saying? Like body punch, man, Tyson will fold a dude up.
You can put Frazier up there in there too. It's one of the best body blows.
Agree.
Too. Yeah.
Agree. No, I agree, but Tyson's up there. That's all I've seen him hit dudes and they just fold up like, I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
What about you, Ken? Ali, 20-year-old Ali versus a 20-year-old Tyson, man. Who you taking?
I think I'm gonna go with Tyson too, man. If he can get in on Ali early like he did, you know, that was the secret to his success. You know, he's gonna take him. And but you know, if he straightens it out, you know, I'll take Ali. But I'll give Tyson a slight edge because he's gonna come in there like a rabid beast, you know. And if Ali's not ready, man, it's gonna be over.
Ali's gonna read that after the first round. Ali's gonna see what the deal is. I don't think Mike Tyson's like gonna just knock him out and KO. That's it. And once Ali see what Mike is doing, he's gonna pick that up. He's gonna pick it up. He was like almost like a heavyweight version of a Mayweather. He would adjust him.
But don't you think that? But don't y'all think that if Tyson could catch him,
Oh, but Ali had a hell of a chin though.
Yeah, he did.
Who had a chin for Tyson's punches?
Hey, look, this dude fought George Foreman. You know what I'm saying? He took some George Foreman shots to the dome now, and
hey,
let's not forget George Foreman was breaking. He was busting body bags, dude.
But he wasn't Tyson though.
Dude, but dude, he was
not Tyson though.
If he was taking George Foreman shots to the head, dude, hold on. Why you think?
He's not Tyson though.
God bless Ali, but why you think he is the way he is now, man? Ali fought killers, man.
You wrong for that, B.
What'd you say?
I said you wrong for that.
That's what I say. God bless. I say God bless him. I'm just saying, why you think he is? I mean, man, he fought killers, man. Ali fought.
You know what, man? I'm gonna go a little left field, man. I'm gonna go with Ali, man. I think now I will say this.
That's not left field. I mean, you can go either one of them.
The longer the fight goes, because Tyson was one of those guys that, like, I think Ali would have probably outsmarted him had he lasted 5 or 6 rounds, because by that time Tyson had been probably tired from throwing so many damn punches. But yeah, I think Ali, man, was a technician. I mean, the rope-a-dope. I mean, like, I could see him just frustrating Tyson. And I don't know that. And now you're right, B. The way with the force in which Tyson punched. I mean, Ali would have had his hands full. But the thing is, I mean, you couldn't touch a 20-year-old Ali. I mean, you just couldn't. He would have frustrated him. I think he would have ultimately frustrated him.
Oh yeah, he would have. Because Mike don't play that running shit, and Ali would have been dancing all over that ring. Mike would have got frustrated. He would have got frustrated easily.
I agree, but like you said, if Tyson caught him and he woke up Ali, I think Ali knows he got to dance with him.
Oh yeah.
And all I'm saying is, if Tyson, if he catch him, I'm just saying I agree with this. If it goes, I'm in agreement in an over/under scenario. Under five rounds, I'm taking Tyson. Over five rounds, I'm taking Ali. It's as simple as that to me.
Okay, and there you have it. And man, our Twitter page just blew up because we tweeted out the picture as well. I tweeted to you guys as well. So retweet that and keep the tweets coming, man. Our boy Captain Sneak said Tyson was vastly overrated. I don't agree with that at all. Keep the comments coming.
You need to go watch it.
Keep the comments coming. 646-478-0356 is the phone number to call. Again, 646-478-0356. Let's jump back to the phone lines. Let's go to 843. Oh, we got my dad on the line. Dad, what's up, man?
Nothing, son. I'm listening to your show and having a ball doing it. Hey, fellas, how's everybody doing?
Hey,
I want to first off jump in on that bonus question you had.
All right.
Ali, without a doubt, whether it's 5 rounds or 15 rounds, it's Ali. And I'll tell you why. First off, before the fight, the 20-year-old Ali is going to get into Tyson's head. He's going to get in his head before he gets in the ring. He's going to make him mad. He's going to say something to him that's going to get him out of his game, get him out of his element. Then the technician takes over. He's going to bust Tyson up. Tyson's eyes are going to be swollen by the 3rd round. In fact, it's by the 2nd round, his eyes might be swollen. Remember, now Ali's like 6'4". That jab's going to keep him at bay. That jab is going to frustrate him. And that hook off the jab and move, that jab, hook, move, that is going to get Tyson so frustrated, he's going to get out of his element. He's going to get careless. And remember, Ali moved like a middleweight. Beasley, I think, hit the nail on the head. He's like Mayweather as far as that knowledge and adjustment and ability to adjust. Well, it's more like saying Mayweather is more like Ali. There's only one boxer that I can think of that I've ever seen who is as versatile or as gifted, just naturally gifted as Ali, and you guys never even seen him. And that was Sugar Ray Robinson. But Ali would have just busted him to death. The Ali fed off of people like Tyson. They were easy for him. They were easier than a guy like Doug Jones, who was a workman. But Ali would have Ali would have fed off of Tyson, and as I said, he would have just had him all out. He would have had him beat, just like he did Sonny Liston. Sonny Liston, and that's another guy that can knock your head off. Liston was beat before he even got in the ring, and Tyson, as I said, he would have gotten his head. Now, some of these other things you said, I was thinking about that Russell Westbrook thing you said about the number of shots he cut. Remind me about Kyle. I think I told you about my boy Struthers. A guy, one of my friends in high school, was a point guard. Came to church. We went to the same church. Come to church, scored 25 points. Man, what you doing scoring 25 points? His answer was very simple, man. I had two choices. I could either shoot and lose or give it to them and lose it. And that's pretty much what...
Yeah, that's how Westbrook's doing.
That was Westbrook pretty much. Tiger, glad to see him back. Justin, Spieth, whatever his name is.
Spieth, yeah.
Let's see him play. Yeah. Let him play for a couple more years. I don't believe in anointing anybody the first year. Because how do we know? Either he or McIlroy. Remember, Tiger has had a bad back and other physical ailments the last couple of years. Tiger would have beaten Nicklaus's record by now had he remained healthy. But in a competitive sport, it's almost impossible to stay healthy for an extended period of time or for years and years and years. Now, mind you, Tiger, I can't remember how many rounds it was or how many tournaments it was that consecutive tournaments that he stayed under, that he always finished under par, or how many times he played consecutive games he played without missing a cut. Those records, you do something like that, then you come tell me how great you are. Until then, just you're a good golfer, but that don't mean jack. Now, as far as the playoffs concerned, the Pelicans possibly can sneak in a game, just like I can't remember who it was, but somebody said Davis at one game can take the team on his back and possibly will them to win. And I think that's a game where maybe Golden State might shoot 35%. That's a one bad shooting game. And, maybe two bad shooting games at most. But I think Golden State will probably do it more so than Oklahoma City because of the fact that they're crippled right now. I forgot what else you guys were talking about, but
you pretty much hit them all, Dan.
Well, the only other thing I'd like to get on real briefly is baseball season started, and I just saw in the paper today where they said the hitting is down. Well, that's probably because they ain't got no hitters. You don't have the athletes. Basically, especially in the United States, the athletes are playing football and basketball. I know what it was. I've forgotten. Kentucky, and those kids coming out of Kentucky, those twins might not even make a roster.
Yeah.
If they do, they're going to be 12 man. Unless they go to the Knicks. Those are my boys. But I mean, but the truth is free. But those kids, that Towns, he's the only one I see that's going to be a very good NBA player. I see role players. It's just like the kid Decker from Wisconsin. He jumped out early. I see him as best a 10-point guy off the bench, maybe seventh man, if he plays with a good team. Then again, he goes to the Knicks, he might get more playing time. But I'm not really impressed with most of these guys in college nowadays. I'm just, that Towns kid is good defensively, he's quick, and he's got a good shot. But in Kentucky, they might be loaded again next year, but what I'm saying is college basketball isn't what it was. U.S. basketball, I mean, the last good big man we produced was the Davis kid.
Davis is going to be a beast. I mean, but the game has changed though. I mean, it's more outside than it is in. I mean, we kind of saw an era where players grew up in the middle, and now the game has transitioned to the outside, and unfortunately that's where it is.
I'll tell you what, you get a good defensive ball player, they'll push you out a little bit, and that'll make a difference. That'll definitely make a difference. Plus, you got the NBA outside versus college outside. So
we got a couple more calls to get to, as always, Dad. Thanks for calling in. We definitely appreciate it.
My pleasure, son. Bye, fellas. Y'all have a good week.
All right, you too. Phone number Dad calls 646-478-0356. Keep the comments coming. Let's jump back to the phone lines. Let's go to 773. 773, you're on with Dead End Sports. What's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, guys? It's Jockman.
Jockman, what's up, man?
What's up, Jockman?
Not much. I'm doing pretty good. Watching some baseball right now. I just want to say I beat Ken in fantasy baseball. That was pretty good. He scored the second most points in the league last week, and I scored the most.
I got my win this past week.
Yeah, shout out to Jock for winning the Dead End. If you're in the Dead End Sports Fantasy Baseball League, make sure that you check in and talk a little trash and move your rosters around. We got a pretty competitive league, man, so get in there and get your stuff done.
Yeah, excited for the NBA playoffs. Excited to see what the Bulls can do. NHL playoffs begin tomorrow. Blackhawks versus Predators, rooting for the Hawks to win it all. Cubs off to a pretty good start, 4-2. Here's a little stat I just found out today. So the Cubs are 2 games over 500 right now. The last time they were 2 games over 500 was 2009.
Wow.
That's ridiculous. Like, even bad teams can run into actions and get over 500.
Hey, Jock, man, let me ask, what you think about the Kansas City Royals right now?
I didn't expect them to be up to that kind of start. I was one of the guys who thought they were going to take a step back, but they've been really impressive. I thought what they needed to do was hit home runs, and that's what they've been doing. As long as they have leads going to the latter portion of the game, they have a good enough bullpen to pretty much secure the game. Like, if they're winning by the 7th inning, they're probably going to win the game. And that's how good their bullpen is.
I don't like it. I don't like them playing good because they in our same division. I don't like it.
Detroit was off to what's their record? 6-1.
Yeah, 6-1. Yeah. We got our first L. Yeah, we just took our first loss because it was us and Kansas City was the only undefeated teams left, but we took our first L and Kansas City still.
Now, for those listening, when you say we, who are you talking about, B?
Detroit Tigers, baby.
Okay. Hey, man, we get listeners all the time. People need to know who your team is.
Detroit Tigers, man. Detroit Tigers. That's what I said. I don't like it. I thought, to be honest with you, I thought Kansas City, last year was like kind of a fluke. So I'm thinking, like, okay, Kansas City gonna go back to kind of like average team. Man, the way they coming out, I'm like, man, I don't think last year was a fluke. Even though we still got like 150-something games left. But
right. It's early.
Man, it's still early, but maybe last year wasn't a fluke.
But it's always interesting, man. The teams there are 2 crops of teams. There's the teams that get hot early in the season, that make it to the playoffs, and then there are the teams that get hot after the All-Star break, that make it to the playoffs. So you just never know, man. A team like Kansas City, it looks like they pretty much picked up where they left off in their World Series run from last year.
Yeah, that's true.
What else you got, Jock?
One more thing. Like with the Cubs, the main talk has been Chris Bryant, but there's one name that I think people really need to start watching out for. His name is Jorge Soler. He is a Cuban right fielder. The Cubs called him up last year. He's played 30 games in the major leagues, and teams are already starting to pitch around him. Like, they don't want to.
Damn.
They don't want him to hit a home run. Like, they just did that. That he was the go-ahead run and just pitched around him. They walked him out 4 pitches. They wanted nothing to do with him.
Viva Cuba! only 30 games in, dude, and they already
30 games in the majors.
That's
they're
scary.
pitching around him now.
That is
there it is. Hey, as always, Jock, man, we definitely appreciate it, man. Appreciate the knowledge.
All right, guys, have a good night.
I'll let you next week, man.
Looking forward to that rematch.
All right,
like, I ain't letting this ass go that easy.
No.
Phone number, Jock, man, called 646-478-0356. Let's jump back to the phone lines. Let's go to area code 205. 205, you're on with Dead End Sports. What's your name? Where you calling from?
This is Captain Sneak. How are you guys?
Sneak, what's going on, man?
Good.
What's up, Sneak?
It's just hearing all this nonsense. People talking about Ali Tyson.
Hey, I saw your tweets, man. Tell us, man, who do you think would win, the 20-year-old Tyson versus the 20-year-old Ali, and why?
Okay. Now, obviously, Tyson is a tremendous force in the ring, the way that he would just come in there. You know, he would just really, before the bell, just kind of look through his opponent and just challenge. I mean, just defeat him before the bell would even ring. But at the same time, I think that, like, you know, that's not going to work on Ali. You know, obviously, Ali was the greatest smack talker that ever alive. And like your dad said, I think he would have got to him before the fight even began. You know, he would have probably got Tyson. Tyson wouldn't have been able to just look through him and like know that that Tyson would have this confidence and know that, well, I've already got him defeated. You know, like he would look through a lot of guys like Mitch Green or whoever, you know, all these other no names that he fought. You know, and for me, I think Tyson would have to get him in the first 2 or 3 rounds, because I think the more seasoning that Ali got in there with Tyson, the more rounds it went, I think he would just start picking them apart. You know, I think the first 3 rounds would be kind of, you know how boxing is now, or boxing is. You got to really kind of feel each other out, you know, and kind of, you know, nobody really wants to make the big mistake, you know.
Right.
And it would be
Tyson won't be putting them out.
It would be a huge fight, obviously, so with everything on the line. But I just think that, you know, once it got to the 6th, 7th, 8th round, it would kind of be like when Tyson fought Lewis, and just that height advantage. You know, Tyson is great in the body, you know, and getting inside, but you've got to get inside, and I just don't know if he would have been able to get inside with Ali as skillful as he is. So I think, you know, 8th, 9th round, probably a TKO or something, you know. I guess for me, that like I like Tyson, but at the same time, I really look at his list of fights, and it's just, I don't really know who he fought that was great, you know, in that early period, because Holmes, you could say Larry Holmes, but Holmes
past his prime, way past his prime.
Yeah, he was past his prime. I think the thing is, Sneak, is that and B can speak on this as well, 'cause we grew up in that era. Tyson fought the best that was in his era, you know, and obliterate. I mean, like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, Michael Spinks was supposed to be like the heir apparent in the heavyweight division. He was, you know, came from the Spinks family, and, you know, he had this great line, and he was supposed to be this great fighter and all this stuff like that. And Tyson knocked him out for the championship round in 91 seconds. So, you know, he fought the best that was in front of him. You know, I think Tyson's demise pretty much came outside of the ring than it did inside the ring. But I mean, he didn't duck anybody. He fought the best, you know, of his era. So, but I will say this much, and there's no knock on Tyson. The heavyweight era from Tyson's era is not the same of Ali's era, if you feel what I'm saying.
Misrepresent, like, kind of what I'm saying, because I guess it kind of sounds like I'm just kind of throwing shade to Tyson. And I'm
no, I get it.
In a way, I'm not trying to do that, because, I mean, you know, there's probably a lot of great fighters that he would have fought, that he would have beat in his early, you know, when he was being trained by Customato, and then the guy after him, not Teddy Atlas, but Kevin Rooney, I think that's his name.
Right, Kevin Rooney, right.
Yeah. You know, I think Tyson from 84 to 88, 89 is, you know, it would have been very tough to beat him. I guess, you know, and what I'm trying to say is just that, you know, yeah, you guys are completely right. Like, it's not Tyson's, like, I'm not blaming Tyson for the lack of great heavyweights during his era, because that's not his fault that there weren't great heavyweights. It's not his fault that he was just dropping people in the first round. You know, and Michael Spinks, you know, even as a good fighter as Spinks was, you know, he wasn't anywhere on, like, a top.
Yeah, that's true.
I knocked him out in 91 seconds, you know. So I guess just for me that, you know, I guess some of it is, it's just really hard to envision 20-year-old Ali, especially before, he got those 3 years that he had to take off because, that he didn't want to be in the, go overseas or whatnot.
Right.
Before all that, I just find it hard to believe that there's too many people that would have beat a 20-year-old Ali. So, I think that's I'm going with Ali in that instant. Did I read? I think I saw on the your timeline that Lawrence Phillips supposedly killed a cellmate.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Lawrence Phillips, former running back in the NFL and Nebraska Cornhusker, he's serving a 31-year sentence for, I think, abuse and something else. But allegedly he killed his cellmate. Or he's under investigation for killing his cellmate. It's crazy.
Wow. I just wanted to chime in a little bit, and I'll let you guys go with this a little bit on Lawrence Phillips. Now, obviously, I never met him. I don't know him, and I watched him as a kid. And, of course, like, when you're a kid, players are probably, you think they're better than they actually are, And but for me, I always felt like Lawrence Phillips is one of those, like, I know he had the terrible attitude, and when Dick Vermeil gives up on you, you really have no hope.
Right.
But it just felt that, like, when watching him in college, like, if you remember the '96 Fiesta Bowl. Against Florida, I mean, it was just, he was a man among boys, and just shredding through tackles. He could outrun you. To me, he was just the total package. And it really, like, of course I was like 8 or 9, so, I really thought that he would end up being, one of the, a really great back in the league, and it didn't turn out that way. He did have a 1,000-yard season, I think in '97 or '98. But, just all those problems he had, it just makes you just, I guess, really, like, and Winston is nowhere near that, like murdering somebody or something like that, or all the problems that Phillips had, but it is a cautionary tale, that you're thinking, what could it be, like about Winston, like people could have reserve about picking Winston. But I just wanted to chime in on that because, I would advise the younger viewers to go back and look at Lawrence Phillips, like game tapes from Nebraska, the '95 season before he got suspended, the '94 season, and I think he was there in '93. But especially '95, the Fiesta Bowl, and there was a game against Oklahoma State, I think, in the early season. He was just incredible. Just one of the best backs of the '90s. Probably one of the most forgotten people. You really, all his troubles make you forget how good he was. And I just wanted to ask you guys what I didn't get to listen to the show earlier. No one really thinks the Pelicans or Thunder are going to give the Warriors much, do they? I mean, out of you guys.
No, I think everybody said sweep 5 games at the max. So yeah, we don't really see it going that far. I think we all want to see the Pelicans make it as opposed to the Thunder, but yeah, we don't see it going far.
I think that Golden State is just too deep, and I know they get this jump shooting team stigma or whatever you want to call it, but I mean they really move the ball. I'm not going to say they move the ball as well as the Spurs because I love watching the Spurs play, but Steve Kerr has just really transformed that offense from last year when it was really okay. Stephen Curry just kind of create something for everybody to this year, how the ball moves so fluidly and everyone seems to get involved. Like I really just don't see them as just like your quote-unquote usual jump shooting team that's going to flame out in the playoffs. I really think they move the ball too well to do that. And also they just play outstanding defense. So I think they're going to be in it for the long haul. I really look forward to the Warriors versus Spurs. That's what my prediction is as far as the playoffs.
Hey, Captain Sneak, before we get you out of here, man, I want you to settle something. Me and Ken got into it Sunday on Twitter. You saw the tweets by Darrelle Revis. Fan trolled him, and Revis fired back at him and said basically that he, did Brady and Belichick a favor by coming there, and that he was the reason why that they got those rings. So Ken and I went back and forth. I said that while I think Revis is a phenomenal player, he was not the reason that they won the Super Bowl last year. Ken seems to think otherwise. What do you say? We know you're a Patriots fan, so.
I think it's, I know you guys probably going to get mad. I think it's kind of somewhere in between. But I really, you really got to have an outstanding quarterback, I think, to really win the Super Bowl, you know. And, you know, as great as Revis is, you know, we gave up 24 points in that game. If Brady and the offense doesn't make the comeback, it doesn't matter. And, you know, just look at the two games before that against Baltimore in the playoffs. He kind of struggled.
35, 37 points?
We gave up 31 and we scored 35. He kind of struggled against Steve Smith early on. And if you remember, in the third quarter, he had a terrible holding penalty that negated a fumble that I think Jamie Collins recovered. I'll have to go back and look. But I believe it was a fumble.
That was Collins.
And, you know, Revis held on that. So while I think Revis is absolutely, you know, 1A or 1 or however you want to put it with Sherman, you know, in this day and age, you've got to have the sound quarterback that's you know, shredding opposing defenses. And you know, I don't have a problem with Revis responding to the trolls because, like, in my opinion, if you're going to be a troll and you're going to call out a professional athlete when you're sitting at home judging on the couch or whatever, in my opinion, it's fair game for him to blast you.
Right.
So, of course, I can't, wholeheartedly agree with him that, he's the reason. But, I mean, he is a part of the reason that they ended up winning, you know, because last year...
Oh, no doubt.
Because 2013, you saw when we played the Broncos in the AFC Championship game, and Talib, you know, he got hurt, which I am not a huge Talib fan because he gets hurt when it's the most important time. But that's another story, another conversation. But you saw that when they just shredded us. And you saw this year that him, along with Browner and McCourty and even Patrick Chung, who I say too early in the season, made a sound secondary. And that's the thing.
Very much so.
It's not just Revis. Revis makes it where you can maneuver your defense a certain way, but you've got to have other playmakers. And Browner, even though he would get 2 or 3 penalties a game probably, and you would really want to pull your hair out because that's just how he is, a physical player. He was important, just like McCourty, the free safety.
But truth be told, it was number 12. It was number 12.
It was.
Hey, as always, man, we got a couple more calls to get to. As always, man, thanks for calling in, Captain Sneak. I appreciate it. Ken is over there quiet now. He ain't got nothing to say.
No, I just don't have enough time to prove why you guys are both wrong. I'll let this slide. Hey,
Sneak, we'll holler at you next week, man. Phone number Captain Sneak, call 646-478-0356. Let's jump back to the phone lines. Let's go to our boy Ryan 774. Ryan, what's going on, man?
What up, Kyle? What's up, Cam? What's up, BZ? What up, FIFO?
What's going on,
good, man?
What's up, guys?
What you got for us tonight?
Actually, it's going to be NBA. To regard to the question, Warriors got that easy. If it's Thunder, I'll give them 5. Westbrook might put a highlight reel filled game, but Warriors. But my question actually, who do you think might make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals? The matchup.
FIFO, you want to jump on that one first? Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. Who makes it? FIFO?
Had y'all on mute. Hold on, I had to get my phone. I got it. Eastern Conference Finals, Chicago, Cleveland. That's what I got. Western Conference Finals, Golden State. Hold on. Who's in the third spot right now?
San Antonio.
I believe. Yeah, San Antonio.
San Antonio's second. Who's second? Then?
Houston. Isn't Houston?
Oh no, I'm sorry, Houston.
Okay, all right, because it shuffled to the last day in the West. Okay, so second is Houston, third is San Antonio. Who's fourth?
Fourth would be the Blazers. Blazers.
The Blazers. Yeah, they automatic fourth, and then Clippers are 5.
Clippers are 5.
Golden State.
Yeah.
Well, we only got a 2-hour show, FIFO.
Golden State. I'm going to say Golden State, Houston. I'm going to just put it out there. Golden State, Houston.
Oh, wow. Houston? Okay.
I'm going to just put it out there. I'm going to just throw that out there.
What about you, B? Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals. Who makes it?
Spurs, Golden State, and
that's not possible based on the matchups, though.
What Spurs are what? They are 3 seed, right? No, what Spurs?
They're 2.
Right.
Yeah,
if Spurs are 2 and Golden State is 1, then yeah, Western Conference.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
Spurs and Golden State, and the East. I think Chicago is going to end up facing Atlanta in the second round right now. The way it's looking, I might. I'm gonna stick with my original guns. I picked Chicago originally to take the East, so I'm gonna say Chicago and Cleveland. But sorry, Kyle, I know I didn't pick your Hawks, but I got in the Eastern Conference. But that's only if Chicago remain a 4 seed. I think they're a 4 seed right now.
Yeah.
No, I think
they're 5th.
What?
Oh, well, 4 or 5, it doesn't matter. They're going to see Atlanta in the second round, and I think if Rose continue to improve what we're seeing right now,
I take that back. That's 3.
I think coming into today, I think they were 3 seed.
Okay, I'm gonna give you this then. In the East, if Chicago's a 3 seed where Atlanta won't have to see them in the second round, then I got Atlanta and Cleveland. But if Chicago end up being that 4 or 5 and they're going to end up seeing Atlanta in the second round, then yeah, I got Chicago and Cleveland in the Eastern Conference Finals.
Okay.
It depends on where Chicago lands.
Yeah.
What about you, Ken?
Spurs, Warriors, Hawks, Cavaliers.
My man.
I dig it.
I'm a complete the trifecta, man. I got to go. As it stands right now, Cavs. The Bulls are in the 3rd seed. They will face the Bucks as the 6th seed. So I'm gonna go in the Eastern Conference. I'm going Hawks and Cavs, and in the Western Conference, I'm going Warriors and Spurs. I think those are the top. I think those are the 4 best teams in the NBA right now, and
I agree.
I think we're either way, man. Everybody listening, get your sleep, get your rest, because more importantly, I think the Western Conference games are worth staying up to watch every night. I know it's hard when you go in the office. You've only got a couple hours of sleep, but man, stay up and watch those games, man. It's going to be some phenomenal basketball coming down the pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Kyle, can you guys?
Yes,
okay, you said San Antonio is 3rd, right?
2.
No, San Antonio is second right now. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
The Rockets are 3rd.
You guys said it was
Blazers are 4th. Clippers 5th. Grizzlies 6th. So for those of you listening, these are the matchups as of. I think I broke these as of like 1 o'clock this morning. Things might have changed based on who lost. We got the Warriors Pelicans. That's a 1-8 matchup. Spurs Mavs 2-7 matchup. The 3-6 matchup is going to be the Rockets facing the Grizzlies, and then the 4-5 matchup is going to be the Blazers and the Clippers, with the Blazers getting home court advantage. In the Eastern Conference, right now as it stands, I think it's the Pacers and the Hawks, the 1-8 matchup. I know the Celtics secured a playoff spot last night, so they're in the 7th slot going up against the Cavs. It'll be the Bulls versus the Bucks, and then the 4 or 5 matchup in the East are the Raptors and the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, man.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
You got anything else, Ryan?
Actually, yeah. Last thing. I'm sticking with Ali in his prime.
Okay.
Ali in his prime.
Ali in his prime.
Yeah.
No doubt. Hey, well, as always, man, thanks for calling in, Ryan. We definitely appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
All right, man. We'll holler at you.
too.
Peace.
Phone number, Ryan, call 646-478-0356. I forgot to mention earlier, we're also, if you've been hiding under a rock, we have a YouTube channel. Make sure that you check out our YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Dead End Sports. We got a lot of videos up. We're going to shoot a couple more videos tomorrow. So definitely, and if you got anything that you want to see on video, hit us up. You can either hit us up on Twitter @Dead End Sports or hit us up individually if it's something you want to hear us talk about or yell about and and be put on video. So definitely do that. The phone number to call in 646-478-0356. I guess we got time to break down one more matchup. Let's go to Spurs-Mavs. Spurs-Mavs in the Western Conference. Ken, who wins that series and in how many games?
Give me Spurs in 5. Mavs are a nightmare, right? They're not in sync at all.
Yeah, they were playing really well when Rondo first landed there, and they kind of fell off a little bit. What about you, FIFO? Spurs, Mavs, who wins and in how many games?
I'd say Spurs in 6.
Okay. So you think they go a little wild? Okay. What about you, V? Spurs, Mavs.
And to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs sweep them. I guess just coming off of right now, the good ball that Spurs they're playing so good right now, and Dallas is just playing so awful. So I mean, if they go into the playoffs like that, especially with San Antonio, of course, we don't have the home court advantage. I would not be shocked at all if they end up being a sweep and the Spurs to be resting.
Yeah, man, I gotta go with. I think the Spurs sweep them. I think the Spurs, they've won 11 straight.
Yeah.
So just when we thought, and they are the hottest team since the All-Star break. Just when we thought the Spurs were dead and done, I mean, it's almost like, they waited around and waited around and waited around for everybody to go out and have their fun, and now they're gelling at the right time, man, and Popovich has their team rolling. Yeah, man, I got to go Spurs in a sweep. I don't think it's going to be close. Rockets, the 3-6 matchup, Rockets-Grizzlies. FIFO, how do you see this thing playing out?
Well, Rockets, Grizzlies, but I went to ESPN and they have different matchups. But
what do they have? Because some of the games, some of the things may have changed since teams won and lost last night.
Yeah, well, it said that this was updated just recently. But in Rockets, Grizz, I got the Rockets. And the Grizz have home court, or do the Rockets have home court?
The Rockets. Rockets will have home at being third seed.
Rockets in 6 or 7.
Okay. So you see that one going pretty deep. What about you, B? Rockets, Grizzly. Who wins that series and how many games?
Rockets. I mean, I hate to go against Memphis because that's been one of my dark horse teams in the Western Conference all season. But they, like I said, I think I said a couple weeks ago, since the All-Star break, the whole squad stuff, and then I think they suffered some. I think some folks got injured. I think Gasol had got injured. Tony Allen got injured. I don't know.
Tony Allen's out for a minute, right?
Yeah, I don't think the Gasol injury is really serious, but I mean, going into playoffs where it's a super grind. I don't think Memphis stand a chance right now. I could see them getting ousted in 5 games, really. With those injuries being suffered. So yeah, that's what I got. And I'm looking right now. I'm looking at the standings, and they got Houston right now. As of right now, Houston at 5 and Memphis at 6.
Okay.
Clippers are 3 seed right now, as of right now. But we won't know for sure until Wednesday night. Probably why we see it tomorrow. We won't know it for sure until tomorrow.
What about you, Ken? Real quick, we got like 30 seconds.
Rockets and 6.
Yeah, damn, I hate picking the Rockets, but I like the Rockets in 6. I'm not sold on Harden and Howard in the long term, but I think with the Grizzlies being banged up, I think they got a chance. Man, another edition is down, man. Another edition is down. Got to thank everybody who called us tonight, everybody who hit us up on Facebook and Twitter. Remember, this show is being broadcast live each and every Tuesday night, so if you miss any parts of tonight's show, check out the archives. You can find us on Blogtalkradio. You can find us on Stitcher, on our website. We're everywhere. That's going to do it for us for this week. For Ken, for B, for FIFO, I'm your host, 12 Kyle. I'll let you next week. Peace.
Fatality.